do. As a matter of fact, we are now joined by our very special guest, one of the greatest running backs of all time. Folks, keep in mind, 5th all-time rushing, 2nd all-time in rushing touchdowns, league MVP in 06, 5-time Pro Bowler, Mr. LaDainian Tomlinson. Welcome to the set, buddy. Good to have you on board. So first of all, talk about from a health standpoint, how are you, and as it relates to whether or not you will continue your career or decide to hang up the cleats?
Yeah, well, I am healthy. That's the good thing. And, you know, when I think about where I am today after 11 years, I've been in the league 11 years and never had a surgery, never had a serious injury. So I count my blessings.
Get a little bit of that.
Knock on wood. I count my blessings. So I'm still healthy. As of right now, I'm a free agent, obviously. But I'm just going to explore my options. I'm just going to wait and see what's out there, and then at the right time, I'm going to make the best decision for me and my family.
And you prefer, if you decide to continue to play, what will factor into that decision?
The team.
Okay, bottom line.
Yeah, bottom line, what type of team am I going to? What kind of pieces do they have around them? Are we going to win? You know, I just don't want to go somewhere.
So you're not going back to the Jets?
Speaking of team, let's just get right to it. Inside the Jets locker room, we hear, you know, the 4th-string quarterback starting it off, now unnamed sources. Give us some insight inside the Jets locker room.
You guys know who've been in locker rooms, you know, there's always going to be times where guys just don't get along. You know, but a lot of times it's up to the players to police that for the most part until it gets out of hand. Then the coaches need to step in and handle different situations.
Did it get out of hand?
It got out of hand toward the end of the season.
Okay.
That's why it got out in the media. This is something that happened, you know, 3rd, 4th week of the season that was going on, and nobody knew about it because the players kept it under wraps. Well, until we went on that losing streak, guys started to speak up and speak out about certain things.
Well, let's get right down to it, because Mark Sanchez has kind of been the lightning rod for that team. A lot of players apparently don't think he should be the guy or giving the kind of responsibility that he was given on that team. Santonio Holmes, the last game of the season, was taken out of the game, basically stirring it up in your own huddle. You had some comments after that game. How bad was it, and can it be fixed with those two?
It's as bad as I've ever been around, honestly. And I've been around some locker rooms and quarterback or receiver situation and whatnot, but it was as bad as I've been around. You know, it was at the point where I think the players could no longer do anything about it. There was nothing that the players could do, you know, and so when it gets to that point, there's certain changes that need to happen. Can it be fixed, Chris? I think absolutely it can be.
How so?
They're going to have to make some tough decisions.
In terms of getting rid of some players?
Because, guys, think about this. You know, they created this. You know, that's the type of football team that they wanted. You know, Mike Tannenbaum, Rex Ryan, a brash, in-your-face type of style. Say whatever you want. Just get it done on the field. And it leads to other things as guys calling each other out and saying I'm not getting the ball or whatever it may be.
Let me turn over the big boy in a minute here, but can Sanchez overcome this? I mean, is there enough confidence in this guy that he can get it done?
I think he can overcome it. I think, you know, there was a guy that said, came out, I don't know who it was, that said Sanchez was lazy, but I disagree with that. The guy's not lazy, guys. He's not a lazy guy. He puts in the time after practice, you know, in the film room. He can get it done. He just have to have pieces around him to help him get it done.
Okay, not lazy, but is he pampered?
Yes, he is. I would say a bit pampered, you know, because he has no competition. He has no real threat to say this guy may take my job.
If you're the general manager, do you bring both Sanchez and Holmes back?
Ooh, that's a tough one. You know, I would really have to sit down with them guys and see if they can coexist, honestly. I mean, that's a decision that I really have to make. And if I really feel like they can't, you know, then you have to make a move.
You guys go back-to-back seasons to the championship game, and yet the decision was made in the offseason. You know, the running game, defense, that's all great, but the missing piece of the puzzle, the missing link is this passing game, and we're going to make Mark Sanchez this drop-back passer, and we're going to be more of a wide-open offense. In retrospect, a mistake?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, and so, you know, a team that was coming off 2 straight AFC championship games relied heavily on the run. You know, my opinion now, why would you just totally switch up, you know, your identity, you know, at that point?
Okay.
Big boy, go ahead.
Do you agree with the direction in which the Jets are going now? With that brash, in-your-face, that style that Rex and Tannenbaum like, the team they built?
I think it can be effective, you know, because there are certain guys that you have to have on your team if you're going to be that way. You know it. If you're going to be that way, you better have you better have some bad guys on that team that just don't care, about certain things, that speak up and say certain things. But if you're not going to be that team, if you don't have that personnel for that team, you can't do it. You can't be that team.
And that's where the pitfalls are if you don't have those kind of players.
Right.
Because we've had enough guys say they love playing for Rex.
Rex, I love playing for Rex. I really do. He's a great guy to play for.
But the personnel doesn't match the style.
I got you.
Let me ask you one other question. Rex Ryan with some bold predictions before every season. Basically, this team's going to the Super Bowl. As a player, would you prefer that he not do that? Does it put additional pressure on your team?
Yeah, well, I would prefer him not to say it as much as he did. I don't mind, every now and again, saying we're going to win the championship. Maybe at the beginning of a year, just saying, hey, our goal is to win the championship. But at the same time, every week, if you calling out a team on certain things, I think it puts a little extra on your team. Guys really want to go out there and say, you know what, let's shut this guy up. Let's shut these Jets up. Just end their season. And I think that adds that when Rex speaks up like that. And, because you're not going to, everybody doesn't like that type of style, and they're not supposed to. But at the same time, there's certain things that you can do to not have it come off like that.
Really appreciate your candor, and there's a lot more coming up with LaDainian Tomlinson on the rest of this program as well. And folks, time now for more highlights, and we head to Green Bay